Weeks ago, I made a discussion video talking about probably the top 5 most imbalanced cards currently in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! From Soul Charge, Topological, Gumblar, Dragon, blah, blah, and then Azathoth. Well, here we are past London this weekend, and it looks like somebody figured out how to abuse Azathoth again, and Gumblar still being a problem in our game, so Soul Charge. Alright, it is time for a fantastic banlist discussion with, it's almost like I've predicted some of these problems. You can all thank Green Prophet Robbie later for these fantastic... Man, I sound like a condescending dick. Is this what you guys watch me for? I guess, but it's the realism that keeps them coming, so it comes with the personality. Alright, let's dig on into this discussion. Alright, it's just not a banlist video without spending the first minute talking about Firewall Dragon. We've danced around this card so many fucking times now that it's becoming a fucking meme at this point. Either rat of the card or just outright ban it. Like, I have a shirt now for the meme for people because they just, you gotta do something about this. Alright, like, community knows Firewall's a problem. We have an FTK running around. That FTK is causing more degenerate problems in the game. Hashtag just get rid of Firewall Dragon, alright? Like, there are plenty of ways. Oh, Azathoth's a card. Yeah, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody was like, oh, Azathoth's not a problem. Azathoth's a problem when something degenerate comes into the game. It's going to be one of those cards that's going to get paired up with every FTK that exists, even if Konami tries to prevent it, and it's going to be that degenerate card that's going to stop your opponent from using hand traps. A lot of people are like, oh my god, use anti-burn cards. Not if your opponent resolves Azathoth. Like, get with the times, people. Azathoth is a degenerate card, but only in combination with other degenerate cards. So, you can thank Azathoth for being the giant asshole that he is in card design, because being able to block your opponent from literally resolving any effects while you proceed to FTK your opponent seems totally fair, right? But what do I know? Okay, so degenerate combo cards that overextend and combo with other things, Firewall Dragon, Azathoth, primary examples. Having a card in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That denies your opponent hand trap ability is pretty ridiculous. I'm not going to touch it yet. I mean, no real reason to. It's just 500 IQ plays say that you need to be aware of Azathoth. Now, the shit we actually care about. Alright, Konami's not going to touch Firewall. Konami's not going to touch Azathoth. We already know this. Good job. Alright. Now, what is Konami going to actually hit? Let me introduce you to Cannon Soldier, Toon Cannon Soldier, and MK2 Cannon Soldier, and Amazon Sorcerer. Alright, so all three of these are some sort of culprit in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! They're all being used with Firewall Dragon and the infinite bounce effect of Snow to recur back, special summon Grapha, pop the Grapha off of the off the Cannon Soldier, paying your opponent for 500, Firewall effects, special summon, rinse, wash, repeat infinitely, you kill your opponent. All of this is made possible by not once per turn effects and a protagonist ace monster. And instead we're going to ban 4 cards that stop degenerate OTKs when it's the fact that you have other loops that cause other loops inside the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That cause more loops. So, contrary to popular belief, you're going to see all of the Cannon Soldiers getting banned because we cannot do anything to Firewall Dragon. Let that sink in for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Now, on the flip side of the equation, if we ban all of these cards, why can't we bring a Assault Core back to 1? I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, well, if Konami wants to take care of these loops, then we could just bring A back, right? Like, every ABC player in the world can rejoice. Like, you can actually, I guess you can still loop with A, but I mean, let's give something back to ABC. Just took 4 FTK cards out of the game, and we may as well add a little bit more Bonfire back in. Let an old friend back into the room. Now, if you ban Firewall, actually A should be allowed to come back no matter what. I'm just saying, but we look at these loops, and we see that they're bad. So all the Cannon Soldiers, they go, you can bring A back. All right. There's so much going on in the game right now. Okay. Now, the next one that Konami's not going to do anything to is Summon Sorcerer. So, predicting we get a list at the end of November. Europe will not have Summon Sorceress until December, which means we have to give Europe a good solid month and a half to want to play the card. So I don't expect Summon Sorceress to really get the axe until probably January, February. Now, if we clean up the Firewall scenario and we keep Needle Fiber out of the game, Summon Sorceress isn't going to be all that terrible. Had to stare at Thunder Dragons for a moment and go, oh yeah, you guys are still a deck. So, oddly enough, later on, Summon Sorceress will get banned. Oh, no doubt in my mind. But it's going to come at a much later pacing than now. So, but on the flip side, you can bet your ass Gumblar is gone. Alright. So, Goki without Gumblar is a fair deck. Alright, actually, Goki without Firewall isn't interesting. See, if you take Firewall away, you take Gumblar away, what does Goki do? Now, I'm already predicting that Gumblar is going to get banned in the OCG, and the TCG is about to ban this thing faster than all get out. The fact you can discard 4 cards from your opponent's hand is hilarious. Alright, I don't think this card... Konami needs to learn that cards that can interact with the opponent's hand are not good for the game. Trap, Dash, Shoot, Confiscation, Link Window, all of these other things. Gumblar promotes that unfair game state that we don't really want to do. Gumblar is just, bye, have a beautiful time. Like, no, please. Gumblar is, I can't wait to see this card just exit stage right on out of this game. Now, on the flip side of that equation, I'm going to make a very bold statement here. And I think Malicious needs to go back to 2. Now, this is really, really weird. So if you remove Gumblar from the game, what kind of happens? Well, I've kind of noticed that a lot of decks are kind of using Malicious outside of, well, what he was meant to do. People are using him to climb link ladders. And I think putting Malicious back to 2 will kind of take that mentality away from wanting to abuse him. The original reason why Malicious was gone is the same reason why he should be banned or limited to 2 today. He's a very dangerous card that is promoting unhealthy interactions in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Producing a Soul Day is great, all of these combo extenders, but I want to say we just put Malicious back to 2. Y'all can hate me in the comment section. I'd love to hear some reasonings, but I think for what this card is promoting currently in the game, it's a no-fly zone for me. Now, if you put Malicious back to 2, I think we can move Stratos back to 2. Stratos started off very well in this format, and then all of a sudden, things changed. I think Thunder Dragons invaded. I have not seen Stratos in a deck list for a while. Now, that's not saying that the card doesn't exist, because he very well is there. I think we've seen him in like the 60 card PK variants, but once Gumblar's gone, I mean, what's it really going to do? I think at a small sacrifice of limiting Malicious, we can bring back Stratos to more than 1 copy. I don't mind what Stratos does because he's almost too slow in his own right. I'm sure there's still some degenerate OTK spanning out there for Stratos, but at this current point in time, I think we can just slap it on the wrist, move it to 2. It's not really doing anything in the OCG, you know, may as well bring it back here. Like, I understand you can still make a Soul Day, but without Gumblar, like, what's your deck really doing? You're just climbing link ladders. Like, that's about it. Now, between the shit show of everything here, we need to do something about Sky Striker. Looking at the way that the OCG slaps Sky Striker on the wrist with 2 engage, 2 engage, 2 Widow Anchor, I kind of think we're going to get the same effect. Now, that's not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, the deck's representation, you heard the consistency of it in Japan, and I almost kind of feel that the deck's kind of a former shell of itself. That's not a bad thing, but I think the 2/2 hit hurts the deck enough that, well, you know, Altergeist will probably show up and start beating it around. I mean, once you remove Gumblar and you remove, you know, that from the equation, obviously Altergeist should step up to be the best deck, right? If it's not doing anything, I mean, you can just let Sky Strike or you can just let Trickstar and Altergeist duke it out for the top spots, I almost feel. And then the last one here, I honestly think we're probably going to put Gold Sark to 1. Like, I understand Thunder Dragons just came out, but Gold Sark's pretty good. If you're touching Goki and you're touching Sky Striker, I think the Invisible Hand has to kind of come in and touch Gold Sarcophagus, move it down. We could get daring and we could put it to 2. I mean, double Gold Sarcophagus just makes the world go round for Thunder Dragons. Like, it's almost crazy what this deck can do. And I have a very, very weird notion that that's going to probably be the case. I think we're going to do something to Gold Sarcophagus this time. Kind of make sure that, well, the deck tries to balance itself out a little bit more. And hopefully, you know, by doing that, we can at least fix that. Now, like I said, that leaves Altergeist and Trickstar unchecked. Reincarnation is starting to show its time. I hate to say this because I hate Reincarnation with a passion. I think that the card is very degenerate, but it's almost like Mech Knight invoked in its own right. The card's good, but the way power creep works in the current game of Yu-Gi-Oh! The value that you get out of Reincarnation, I do want to see the card limited to 1. I think the card's absolutely degenerate. I think with Joel and Lockbird, it's an unfair combo, but I understand with every other degenerate deck in the game, leaving something like a slap on the wrist for at least Trickstar to be another playable deck. I mean, you leave them Droll, you know, they can sit at the dinner table and get 1 or 2 representations in a top cut. I mean, there is that. So there's just a lot of really weird things going on. The Danger Engine itself, I don't think we need to do anything to. There was a joke I saw actually too. It's like, oh man, somebody is going to misread something on the next ban list, and they'll be like, oh, ban Firewall. Well, let's ban Graph. Like, we're gonna end up mishitting Dark World Graph, and we're gonna end up just being like, oh, Burning Abyss Graph. Also, BA doesn't need any hits. I think the deck's fine the way it is. I think we just Invisible Hand out Malicious and we're fine. So that's the little stuff I wanted to talk about on this video. Those are my current ban list predictions. We'll have to see. There are a lot of things that need to change in the current game for things to be a little bit viable, and they're all called Firewall Cannon Soldier. Oh man, how could I forget? Yeah, obviously the problem's Cannon Soldier, right guys? These dang cards that burn my opponent. Who cares if I can summon 35 monsters in a turn? Yeah, silly me. Well, thanks for watching. That concludes this edition of Cannon Soldier's the problem, right guys? Science. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.